Fellas, welcome back to the channel. Affordably Affirmed. This is your coach, Dr. Liam, and I wanted to drop a quick video today touching on dog ears. Not really touching on, but more so teaching about dog ears, why we get them, why they plague our community, why they are the #1 post-op complaint and the #1 pre-op worry, and why, where, how, when, what, all that. So let's get into it. All right, why do FTM identified trans men get dog ears? Why? The main reason why, the only reason why, the reason why is because at birth, we are not born with that lower pec muscle. The reason why is because biology. We're supposed to reproduce, breastfeed. There's no need for a muscle there. So when you go to your doctor, usually your doctor says, either if you are heavier, you don't qualify for the weight. They don't go into why, they don't go into where and how that affects your chest. The fact that dog ears are more likely to happen if you are bigger. They also don't explain this part, the part that you don't have that muscle there. So essentially all you have is the muscle up here. What they do tell you is do push-ups and train upper chest. What that does is that builds this part, and then you still have nothing here. So that pulls the chest wall up this way, which is why when you lie down and you get your cuts, a lot of guys come out with their cuts here because there's no money line for the surgeon, no guideline for the surgeon to go by. Surgeons are not muscular specialists, so of course they don't know to tell you this. All they tell you is do push-ups. If you look at most of your surgeons, their chests aren't built. So they can't tell you how to build your chest, particularly being that you are biologically F and you're going TM, so they really can't help. The best thing that you can do to prepare yourself is to train your lower pecs more so than your upper. If you train your upper pecs more than you do your lower, think of like one of those shades that you pull and it goes when your doctor cuts your chest. That's only going to pull that skin up that much higher, which means the doctor's going to have to pull it down, which is going to cause functional issues. Rib flare, which is something that we never talk about in our community. A lot of men suffer from rib flare because of that reason. A lot of scars, you get a lot of microbial tears in your scars because of that reason. A lot of shoulder issues that just come out of nowhere, just random pain, sharp pains. That reason. Where do dog ears begin? They do not happen here, contrary to popular belief. Dog ears begin right here, and for that very reason I told you. And if you look at my chest, I have a lower pec muscle. So if you look here, if I didn't, and when the cuts are made and I heal, that skin's gonna bunch. Let's say I still have skin here. I didn't develop my lats, my back. Gonna get to that. That skin's gonna bunch. That's gonna cause that bunching, dog ears. Whether it's small or slight, or it looks like a pimple, or it's very pronounced. Same, all across the board. How? How do I fix it? How do I work on it? How do I address it? Like I said, training your lower chest. Not just training your lower chest, though. You also have to train your lats. Your back and your chest connect here and here. Literally, they mirror one another because your body works in opposition so that you can move correctly, which is why a lot of FTM men have back problems because the posterior chain is ignored. Dysphoria makes you ignore your lower body. We're going to get into that also. Lack of education makes you ignore your upper body. And then we get into the, I'm not trying to be a toxic masculine man with muscles. This is about function. The sexy is a bonus to the function. If you don't function properly, your quality of life is going to suck. Why go through all that you go through to transition only to feel shitty? I've never understood that. Anyway, preventative methods. The preventative methods, working out, And you do not have to work out, like I said, to train to be muscle bound. You could simply work out with the proper programming to be functional. Your body's going to shape, but you'll be functional. You won't hurt. You won't carry excess weight. Excess weight means higher estrogen levels. The more you work out, you spike that dopamine, you feel better mentally, you spike your T levels, your body starts to shape, and you're functional. More preventative methods. If you are holding more weight, it's time to drop it. More weight means higher estrogen levels. If most of the guys that hold more weight, if you're subcutaneous shots, you're not getting your T. It's intramuscular. So if you don't have very much muscle, you're shooting in, your T is dripping in very, very slowly. You're not getting your shot. That doesn't mean that, and this is the problem with affirming language. This is the problem with, and I'm talking affirming language from the doctor's office and providers all the way to, these pseudo trans trainers to cis trainers that work with you. Instead of saying, well, your BMI is too high. Let's talk about body fat and what the exact number that you need to lose is, because body fat's broken down into 3 parts. Going to get into that later too. Got a lot of videos coming. When we get into things like that, you have more control. BMI, hell, according to BMI, I'm obese for my height. BMI is like the Flintstone measurement. So when you know your exact number, when you have the right program, your preventative methods, your control level goes through the roof. That way you don't just lie on the table and tell your doctor, have your way. In plastics, totally unheard of. One of the most vain professions where you're dealing with people that, look, this is what I want, because this is going to be forever. For us, it's on it's on an even deeper level than that. You get your surgery done, then you can't take your shirt off. More preventative methods. Massage. Contrary to popular belief, just like I don't need to prep until after I get my surgery done to my chest, I don't need a massage until after. Not true. Particularly if you bind, and especially if you half bind or if you still wear sports bra-like binders. Your QL are the muscles that basically connect your upper and lower body. For us, very, very, very important, because right here is where the other person's supposed to go. So this is a very strong area. Your center of gravity right here, which is why function is so important. If your QL and your center of gravity are not healthy, it's going to affect everything. Let's go back to what I said earlier about your surgery and your scars being tight, not having that money line slanted. Let's say you get a little bit of a belly because you're taking tea and you're still living your lifestyle the way you did. This all feeds into dog ears. Because the minute you change all that, they start to go away. It's your body. You're in control of it. That's why the education is such a cool thing, because you can walk into the doctor's office and say, I know exactly where, what, when, how. This is my resource, and I'm sure of it. I work directly with plastic surgeons. They send me guys. How to get rid of them? Just told you. You have to practice a certain lifestyle. Processed food, you got to get rid of processed food. And I didn't say you have to eat chicken, rice, and veggies, because that doesn't work either. You just can't eat fake things. Your body has to have real food that it can read. Particularly foods that are not rich in any kind of sugars or anything like that, because you have more folic acid. You have more hormones that are prone to fighting for the estrogen because of biology. The more you think about this as a biological process and not a aesthetic process, the closer you'll get to the aesthetic you want. Because the more you'll be hungry to learn about your body so you can change it. Didn't even know dog ears was this deep, did you? It is. I have a stand store. Dr. Liam, FTMD. There is a deluxe dog ear tutorial in my stand store. It is $20. It is 37 pages and it's not boring. There are workouts in there. There's an actual workout in the tutorial that will help you start to attack your dog ears. There's also a free month of coaching with me so that I can show you what to do. Your form cues help you with your food. I might even give you some extra stuff while we're working together. These services are super affordable because I've watched brothers get taken advantage of and get nothing out of it. This is about control and change and not currency. 5% of everything purchased in the store goes towards a relief fund for brothers that are Affordably Affirmed members, because we are a family. We don't just say, all right, you're out because you can't pay this month. Shit happens. This is about change. I want you to feel empowered. I want you to walk into your doctor's office and feel like you know something and not just be anxious and take whatever they say. And I've been there. I did that. And then when top surgery came, I have to tell y'all my story. It took 10 hours. I was in the hospital for 3 days. This side was flat. And it wasn't my surgeon. He knew what he knew, and I had one of the best in the business. It was the past from not having control with my providers and telling them, listen, I feel this way and this way, and letting them gaslight me or, abuse me and be fascinated by my muscularity and my voice and not think about the fact that I'm a human being and I'm going through some severe symptoms of something that now is just starting to come out as a normal disease I've been dealing with since I was 17. Didn't know it until I had my surgery. Doctor cuts my chest open. This whole side from here to here, flat. I fixed it. I mean, he did a great job of putting it back together, and luckily my chest was so big, he filleted my chest muscle in half and slid it down a little bit. My upper chest, I used to power lift and bodybuild, and I had rage issues because I didn't do shadow work. We're going to get into that. So I was really into weights. Started competing at 19. See, I was already big with a bald head before I transitioned. It's just everything happened backwards for me. I already knew who I was, but it took seeing him in the mirror to be like, son of a bitch, that it goes together. Like literally, I'm bald, big, getting kicked out the bathroom in the 90s. Got white women calling the police in the locker room. So when all that stuff started to happen, I was like, oh, wow. Anyway, Stand Store, deluxe dog ear tutorial, 1 month of coaching, workout inside of the tutorial. All the information you need. The shit's not boring because I write the same way I speak, and I can't stand to read boring things. I'm a researcher. I have to write boring stuff all the time, so I love to write things to you all the way that I speak. I don't know what's up with your generation. Some of you people don't read. Fix it. Because, boy, if they want to start hiding shit, all they got to do is put it somewhere where y'all got to read it. Some of y'all, good grief. Sign up. Become a member. It's month to month. It's a community. You get everything that you need. There's a condiment and supplement book, meal book. There's an FAQ. There's accountability groups. I'm your coach. I'm dope. Nah, I love the guys though, man. We have a beautiful thing going. We really do. And it's awesome. I've been waiting my whole life to do this. Worked years. Took a lot of shit. But I finally realized when I started doing this, it was all for a reason. It all came together. And now I can see the work. And it's inside and outside. We don't just look good. We feel good. Oh, my mama. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, and I'm silly too, by the way. Soon there will be a sale coming back up where you can join for $25. Right now it's $50 a month, which is still a steal. because I am a clinical exercise physiologist. I am an epidemiologist. I am smart as shit. I'm a clinician in Whole Foods, so you get a lot. And I'm trans. FTM, dog. But you get a lot, man. You do. Follow my outlets. IG at Affordably Affirmed. Facebook, Liam Johnson, the one with no shirt, not the cartoon. You know what I'm talking about when you go there. Hello Me R&R, which is the research company. That's our business page. Subscribe, like, share with your friends, and tell your mom, and go get the dog ear tutorial because you'll need it. Watch my shit. Love each other. Take care of your heart, your head. Always take care of your environment because that affects both. Love yourself. Anybody that don't love you, fuck them. Have a great one.